This is going to be the best way to contain COVID-19. Before we dive into details, let's understand what herd immunity is. Essentially, it's a form of indirect protection from infectious diseases that occurs when a large percentage of a population has become immune to an infection. Now, this protection can be either due to previous infections or vaccination. To contain a pandemic, there are certain parameters that have to be taken into consideration. Most importantly, the basic reproduction number, or R0. This number entails the expected number of cases that each infected person can infect in a fully susceptible population. If the R0 is less than 1, then eventually this disease is going to be dying out and no pandemic is going to be occurring. However, if the R0 is greater than 1, then the disease can actually cause pandemics, and this is what we are going to be discussing in the next slide. As we see in this image, the transmission or the basic reproduction number of COVID-19 is not as high as other diseases. COVID-19 has a basic reproduction number of 2.4, which says that every person that is diagnosed with COVID-19 is going to be, on average, infecting 2.4 people. On the other hand, measles actually has a basic reproduction number that varies between 12 and 18, which is extremely high when comparing that to COVID-19. For further clarification, let's look at this image. In the first part, we are seeing that one person in a population that is not immunized, it is going to be spreading the disease exponentially. Now, this is going to be happening even if the basic reproduction number is very small, because one person is going to be infecting 3 people, and then these 3 people are going to be infecting even more. This is where the exponential increase happens. However, let's assume that a small portion of the population is actually immunized. The spread is still going to be happening because the basic reproduction number has not decreased to a point where it is 1. In the last part, what we are seeing here is that the majority of the population has been immunized and the spread of the disease is going to be contained. In order to reach this point, what has to happen is that 2/3 of the population has to be immunized from COVID-19 by either prior exposure or by vaccination. Herd immunity is going to be especially important for the most susceptible individuals, and these include older people and people with pre-existing medical conditions. This is because even if a vaccine has been approved, these people will not be able to be taking these vaccines due to their compromised immune systems. The discussion point is rather interesting because we're in the middle of 2 paths. The first path is that we have to wait and stay self-isolated until a vaccine has been produced. Or second, we are going to be infecting 2/3 of the population so that they can develop natural immunity against this disease in order to protect our most susceptible individuals. Thank you for watching. This has been Ali Bizri from B Biology.